Hi guys, welcome to my first video. I'm Ellie from budgetingisachallenge.com and I'm excited to bring you this because it's my budgeting day for March. Here I've got my budget binder that I've been showing you online. I'm going to be showing you how I use that, and also these cute cash envelopes that I've been using to keep track of my spending. I just did this really more so because I'm part of a generation who really, when we grew up, ended up with cash as like an abstract concept. So I've always been used to using cards, and I just wondered whether this would help me save money in the long run. So just a quick thing, I've got market £40 in March, and I've got toiletries, beauty products, and essentials there, and I've also got coffee, £25. Anyone who follows my blog will know that this is my weakness. Okay, without further ado, get those annoying balloons off. This is my humble abode. My desk, as you can see, is a little bit messy. I have my dog on the screen. I love him to bits. He's not with us anymore, but it's very cute. It's my inspiration. Forgive the desk. I'm a little bit of an artist in my spare time as well, so it's a glass desk, but it's all painted. So yeah, it's a little bit scruffy, but hey. Right, so without further ado, okay. Here's my monthly budget binder pages. I have printed those out so you can see. I've used the US version this time just so you guys from the US can see what they're actually like. If you're doing this for the first time, I'd recommend you looking at my blog post about how to get this information, how to collate it together before you even start. But the easiest thing for me to do now, because I know that not much has changed, is to go through my budget binder from last month and just copy out all the payments that I know basically are the same as those. With my savings now, I know that because we've managed to sell a house, I have got more that I can put against that, but I try to save at least 10% of our income with that one. I put my budget in here, and then by the end of the month I look to see if I've actually done that. Big thing with that one, I believe that you've got to pay yourself first. So when your money comes in for the month, please, well, this is my advice, it's a suggestion, put that savings into your saving pot first before you spend anything else. It is just so, in my view, it's so important. Anyway, that's the first page. Housing, that is any bills that come out, like I said, council tax, insurance, utilities, gas, electric, all those kind of things. Like I even had a house where we had to pay service charges, so I put that there. Those can be found on your bills. They can even be found on your bank statements, but I go into that on my blog post. If you look for the 2019 budget planner, you'll find it there. Transport, vehicle, obviously again car insurance, gas for cars, any potential repairs you might need actually. This is a good point actually in terms of this savings. It tends to be a lot of the time at the moment for me, the savings I've accrued end up going towards this. So I've felt a lot better since I've been saving this. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next page. Oh yeah, I've got utilities there as well. So I'll put all my this on this monthly budget planner. I did say on the previous page you could put it with housing, but actually if you separate it, it does just become clearer what are you actually spending on that specific side of your budget. All right, if we move on to the second sheet, then we've got all the insurances. You might have things like life insurance that you have to put separate to your house insurance. So you might have health insurance. I've got healthcare here. You might pay for drugs. I don't know. It depends whether you're in the UK or the US. We tend to get it free in the UK, but hey, if you've got medical expenses, fair enough, you could put it in there. Food, grocery budget. I put myself, I personally, I have this cash envelope for a specific part of my grocery budget, which is I like to go and get fruit and veg for the market, so I spend £10. I give myself £10 a week for that. That will go in there, in my food part there, but what I do is I put CE next to it, so I'd put market 40 and I put CE, so it reminds me that that is in my cash envelope. Certain parts of my budget are cash envelopes. You're not going to achieve everything because obviously we have payments coming straight out of our bank accounts. What it does do is give me a little bit of more control over my budget. And I'll put things down like my weekly grocery shop here, what I intend to spend on that. Clothing, I don't have too much in the way of expenses there, but if anybody wants this editing, let me know, so you've got more here. Child expenses and subscriptions. Subscriptions could be anything from, I don't know, if you're a teacher and you're part of a teacher union, if you're an engineer, even if you've got like something like a TV subscription and you want it to be separate from the house stuff, that could go in there. Okay, so it's anything you pay monthly or yearly for. If you pay yearly, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to break it down, just divide it by 12 and put it in there. Okay, that's what I tend to do with mine. And finally, the third page, this is more stuff that, that potentially you don't need to spend, but I've recognised that, for a balanced life, this is what I need to be able to budget for, so we get balanced as well as thinking frugally. So I've got entertainment fund there, that's self-explanatory. Giving, you might be getting to the point with your budgeting or, with your views on life that you want to be given to charity. So I put hours in, we do a charity donation. I think it's the lottery for the NHS and NSPCC, put that in there. Personal spending, there I will put my coffee cash envelope. So I'd put coffee 25 and then CE here. Okay, so far it's been really effective because it's stopping me spend too much money. I was horrified how much money I was actually spending on coffee. So £25, I know it sounds a lot, but I was spending a lot more. And for me, to be able to control that within my own remit is brilliant. Loans, separated loans and credit cards, because you guys may have like a couple of these and then quite a few credit cards with balances on. So this is the first step to taking control of that and actually having it down in black and white and thinking, right, okay, how am I going to long term fix this? I know for me, when I started writing this down on here, it really gave me that motivation to think, I can pay this off, I can get out of debt. Alright, so that's that. And then if we turn it over here, miscellaneous, there's always going to be something that you forget or that just doesn't go into any other category. And that is why I've provided these boxes here. Again, give me feedback. If there's not enough boxes there, I will edit it. I'm always willing to edit things for people, so do get in touch if it's not quite working for you, this. Okay? Grand total's important. I go back through all my lists because you can see on every page there's a total. And I will put the totals in here, okay? So, and then grand total goes down here. And to make my budget balance, it has to, if I take my income away from all this expense on the whole 3 pages, it should be a positive value or 0. If it's not, I need to go back through and just have a look at a couple of my budgets, particularly from the 3rd page. My personal spending, my going out budget, even my grocery budget on the 2nd page, to see whether I can chop that a little bit so that I can get rid of that deficit. And I will go into more detail about how you can bring these payments down for transportation vehicle, things like that. So in the long run, that figure that you're having to really try to balance is lower every month, and if not, becoming like a positive figure. Okay, right, so I hope that's given you some insight into how I do my budget binder. Let me just show you the subscription list. Mine is ridiculous. I mean, I'll just give you a quick flash of that. I don't want to show the whole thing because it's private, but I had to write it out once with everything based on my bank statements. I wasn't happy with that because it wasn't grouped in areas of my budget. So this is what my second and third subscription list looks like. So you can print as many of these off. Can you see how I've just done it as, like different types? So like I've got all my housing subscriptions together, my car subscriptions, my blog subscriptions, and then I can see, like, have I put everything on my budget planner? And this also, I go through this subscription list once a month, and it tells me when my payments are due up for renewal. So I can contact those companies, or I can go on a comparison website and I can say, try to get a better deal on them, try to bring those costs down. Saving goals, I review that and see if I'm hitting that target. So at the moment, my monthly target is about £250 saving. At the moment, I've hit that twice. So just by looking at the savings goal page, I know that I'm reviewing and making sure that I'm being accountable to myself, really. I think the hardest thing to do is to set up your initial budget. Once you've done that, you can basically copy all these things down. Now, the other thing to mention as well is the spending tracker. Again, in my in my summary on my blog post, I've shown you how to use that. But it does help track your spending. So say, for example, I have got a tracker on the actual cash envelope, but I know people want to do it slightly different ways. I find that I don't use the tracker every time, but what does organise me is the spending tracker. I'll go back to this if I spent money on certain things, especially like, say, I know me and Mr. Budget were thinking that maybe we were spending too much on going out, so I decided to have a look at how much we were actually spending, just wrote it down over the period of the month, and I added it up. I could actually see how much we were spending, so then I could edit my budget for the next month, which, if that makes sense. Okay, right, so I'll leave you with that today. Go and have a look at my blog page. It'll give you a link to this planner if you should wish to use it. It's okay, because I know that some people think, budget planner, why are we spending money on that? It's a really good investment. You can print from this. It's yours for life then. But if you prefer a slightly less detailed version for free, I totally understand that. That's on my website too, under the free resources. So check that out and have a go with that one as well. It'll still save you tons of money. Okay, hope you are with me for my next monthly budget update and instruction video. Thanks very much for listening today, and have a good week, guys. Bye.